It doesn't matter. We all are abiding by the same rules.
I'd like to have
I'm
a
done
conversation.
for now.
There's nothing that I saw when I was around him that made me realize he was trafficking women.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear?
The Clintons testifying about convicted paedophile Jeffrey Epstein. What one of America's most powerful couples say they did and didn't know or do.
No one is above the law, especially presidents.
Only now can we scour the body language, peer into their eyes, and begin to imagine what it might be like if President Trump was ever forced to do the same. Let's start with Bill Clinton Exhibit A, a mystery photo in a hot tub recently released in the FBI's Epstein files. Whoever the former president is relaxing with, their face is blacked out. For the first time, something of an explanation.
So do you recall the details of this photo, recall the photo being taken?
No, I don't think I ever knew the photo was taken.
Clinton was on a trip to Brunei for his AIDS foundation. Mr. Epstein had been there too.
We went out, I swam around, I sat in the hot tub for 5 minutes, or whatever it was, and I got up and went to bed.
More on Mr. Epstein in a moment, but first or at least a very uncomfortable $1 million question, the likes of which Mr. Clinton has been asked before.
And then I have to ask this, did you engage in any sexual activity
No.
with this person? Okay, thank you.
Clinton told the hearing at the time he had no knowledge of Epstein's sex crimes.
When did you first learn of Jeffrey Epstein's crimes?
I think in 2008 when he was prosecuted. There's nothing that I saw when I was around him that made me realize he was trafficking women.
So for the record, you never discussed anything related to Mr. Epstein and young women or girls?
Absolutely not.
Well, at least one of the survivors claims that you flew in a helicopter with Ghislaine Maxwell to the island.
Did you ever?
Then I did not do that. I've never been to that island.
One thing Clinton and Trump have in common, they both spent time socially with Epstein. Clinton claiming that at one point, Trump had remembered Epstein fondly.
Donald Trump would come out and play a few holes with us. And he somehow knew I had flown in Jeffrey Epstein's aircraft, and he said, you know, we had some great times together over the years, but we fell out, all because of a real estate deal. And he said, I'm sorry it happened. That's all.
Trump has previously said he'd fallen out with Epstein not about business, but the financier's treatment of women and girls. Clinton had begun his testimony by reading a prepared statement, which included a robust defense of his wife.
She had nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein. Nothing.
Unlike her husband, Hillary claims to have never met Epstein, although she did know his accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell.
I had no idea about their criminal activities. I do not recall ever encountering Mr. Epstein. I never flew on his plane or visited his island, homes, or offices. I have nothing to add to that.
The politics of seeing the Clintons before the Republican-controlled House Oversight Committee are of course not far from the surface. Many Democrats claim it's a smokescreen to try and shield Trump. And beyond what we actually learned last week, there was the theater of it all.
Excuse me, can I interrupt?
I have
There
another.
are photos that are being released of the secretary as she is testifying from inside this room. Can you please explain how that
I'm
can
done
occur?
with this. If you guys are doing that, I am done. You can hold me in contempt from now until the cows come home. This is just typical behavior.
We will go off the record.
Oh, for heaven's
So I would like
sake.
to understand how that's permissible.
Before the hearing was,
It doesn't
Excuse
matter.
me.
We all are abiding by the same rules.
I will take that down.
Yeah,
So
well,
I would like to take a break at this moment.
yeah,
and I'd like to have
I'm
a
done
conversation.
for now.
Mrs. Clinton, one of many Democrats, who's saying if she and her husband had to testify, President Trump should too.
Right. So, joining me to dig into what we learned, all the way from Washington, D.C., Lauren Windsor. She is an advocacy journalist. You may have followed her work, and a communications consultant. Lauren, thanks a lot for finding time to help us make sense of this. I guess the big question, are we any closer after the Clintons decided to talk. Are we any closer to President Trump either being asked to or agreeing to appear?
Absolutely not. And I think that the only way that happens is when Democrats retake the House in January when a Democratic majority is seated.
Are you banking on that for that to make the change?
It's the only scenario in which Trump is going to actually sit to be just deposed. There's no other way that he comes in. I mean, I think it's clear that Republicans don't have any appetite to call him. And
even if the Democrats do retake the House and then the Oversight Committee, that still doesn't mean he would show up, right?
Right. I mean, he will, I'm sure he used every executive privilege to say that he does not have to come in to face questioning.
Pretty awkward moments for Bill Clinton, too, around the jacuzzi and what may or may not have happened between him and the person that he's pictured in there with.
I've said from day one, I don't care if it's a Democrat or if it's a Republican. I think that they all need to burn. If they were having sex with underage, with girls, with minors, that they need to be held accountable for that. And if Bill Clinton did, then he needs to face accountability. Both he
It's a
and
very firm denial, wasn't it? But he has made firm denials of a similar nature in the past.
Certainly, but I mean, we also don't see pictures of him on the island. We don't see pictures of him at the ranch. Was he pictured on the plain shore? And he also explained those things, and I think explained them pretty fulsomely. And again, I would say if there's proof that he did it, then hold him accountable. So.
Well, lots of people who protest their innocence, who nonetheless may face further questions. One of the remarkable things, I guess, about the entire appearance is the theater of it, the personal and the political. What did you make of Hillary storming out? Was that manufactured or did you buy it?
Is there some flair to it? I'm sure there is, but I definitely felt her aggravation with, different lines of questioning, whether or not it was from Lauren Boebert or Nancy Mace. I'd be irritated too if I had really never met the guy.
I think a lot of people will watch what happened and see it as political theater and an attempt not so much as to answer the questions, but to try and compel the current president, to be summoned.
Oh, it's certainly political theater. Everyone is making moves to either increase the pressure or alleviate it, right? And that, I should say that's not all Republicans. I think Thomas Massie has been very courageous in taking the stand that he has, and I hope that he and Congressman Khanna will continue to hold folks accountable no matter what side of the aisle that they're on. I do think they've both been really good about saying, let's pursue every lead wherever it goes. We don't really care to protect anybody. Let's out everyone. So. And I think that's really where the pulse of the country is. Anyone who, when I talk to voters, when I talk to average people, people are angry about it. If there's one thing that can unify this country, it's that pedophiles should be held accountable. You would be unwise to be a politician and not tap into that.
Lauren Windsor, thank you very much indeed for joining us. Appreciate it.